Shida upata mtu, ugonjwa upata mtu, unaamka ukiwa mzima, unajipata wewe sio mtu, uwezi toka kitanda. Si kujitakia kwa hii hali. Nimejipata tu, ikanidhoofisha, ikanimaliza, nikashindwa mpaka na kulisha watoto wangu. Watoto wangu hata masomo nimeshindwa kuwapatia. Siku moja nilikuwa mzima, siku moja nilikuwa na nguvu, nilikuwa nikijifanyia kazi yangu. Sometimes nashindwa mpaka na kufungua kazi. Nisaidieni. Saa zingine hata kutafuna tu hii joo kutafuna, nashindwa hata na kutafuna chakula, nashindwa hata na kumeza. Daktari saa zingine nalala tu na uchungu sana sana kabisa.
At the heart of Kenya's transport infrastructure is the Mechanical and Transport Directorate, MTD, under the Ministry of Roads and Transport. We oversee a network of services spread across 24 strategic regions, ensuring efficiency in plant and transport services nationwide, from road construction and maintenance to the provision of specialized equipment to manufacturing services. We support infrastructural development across the country. We carry out inspection and valuation of government vehicles, plant and equipment in view of pre-delivery, repair and maintenance and disposal. We also inspect second-hand imported motor vehicles for roadworthiness as per KEBS KS 1515 and conduct occupational tests for drivers and operators. For more information, visit mtd.go.ke or call 0718 976 445. The Mechanical and Transport Directorate, Quality Mechanical and Plant Services.
Attention all journalists in Kenya. The Media Council of Kenya, MCK, is calling you to apply or renew your 2025 press card now. It's fast and easy. Just log on to your online portal at www.mediacouncil.or.ke. For more information, email us at accreditation@mediacouncil.or.ke or call 0110-131-447 or visit us at Britam Center, Nairobi, or our Mombasa, Meru, Nakuru, and Kisumu offices. You can report violations or press freedom issues by calling us on 0702 222 111. Stay legit. Carry your press card on duty. Always ready, always professional. MCK, promoting press freedom and responsible journalism.
You're probably wondering how I got here. This was me. Nimeboeka. Then nika buy Beeline time bundle. My 1 hour kuwa online bila wasi. And my time turned from just kawa ikakuwa lit. Nika go live really nice na TikTok, IG, Snap na nika hang na Memorial. Manzo ukiwa na Beeline, time is on your side. Hadi beats in a slap different. Nikaanza kuzitoka, nika trend online, kushuka mat tu hivi. Mafans wakatokea, tukajiaji. Buy the new Beeline time bundle. Dial *544#.
Well, it's the 6th of September, just in time for the Legends edition. A very good evening from wherever you are joining us. I'm Marie Yambo. Of course, helping me later on in this bulletin on the sign language is Ann Wangeshi. And before anything else, let's take a look at the highlights.
Kama mtu ameiba pesa na umeona mtu ameiba pesa, kwa nini hao watu wasikamatwe?
Leaders demand the arrest and prosecution of those implicated in the looting of the Social Health Authority.
So far, 3,000 schools have been able to receive capitation. They have been able to be verified. They have submitted the correct data, the correct number of students, the correct schools, and the process is going on.
Closed mouths don't get fed. The government urges schools to comply with the ongoing verification to receive their capitation. And the Mombasa commuter train, it is all systems go as the government completes the rehabilitation of the Miritini meter gauge railway. A warm welcome once again. We begin the bulletin on a political note where members of parliament allied to the ruling Kenya Kwanza government have intensified calls for the arrest of proprietors of the ghost hospitals implicated in the Social Health Authority fraudulent claims scandal. National Assembly Majority Whip Silvanus Osoro and Tana River County Senator, that is Danson Mungatana, speaking separately, said deregistering the non-existent health facilities was not sufficient and there was need to prosecute the looters.
The ongoing implementation of Social Health Authority amid reports of irregularities in their National Medical Scheme continues to stir political discourse. MPs allied to the government are defending the Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale and demanding total war.
Nilisikia waheshimiwa wengine wakisema ati mnaenda kuimpeach Duale bungeni. Sasa watu walikuwa wanasema hivyo, niliona waliita press conference. Bunge hawaonekanangi hata. Mimi ndio chief whip. Wanakujenga once wanapotea. Number 2 mko wanne. Bwana mkibali if you manage kufikisha signature 10 tu kuja niwape zawadi.
South Mogirango MP, who is also the National Assembly Majority Whip, Silvanus Osoro, and Nyariba Chache MP Zahir Janda called for support of SHA.
Serikali tunaipea asante kwa kutuletea SHA. Hii SHA inasaidia watu wetu. Na wale ambao wanapigana hawataki mambo ya SHA ni wale ambao ni makartels ambao wamekuwa wakiiba pesa kutoka wakati ya NHIF.
Watu wanaenda hospitali wanadanganya kwamba mama mjamzito amezaa watoto 9 kwa miaka 9. Hao watu tunasema washikwe. Na wale wabunge mnaenda kuwatetea. Wengine mnafanya biashara na hizo hospitali za ukora. Tunawaambia chuma chenu kimotoni.
Watu wasonge nyuma.
Osoro and Janda were speaking during the launch of last mile electricity connectivity in Bonyanchi, Kisii South Sub-County. Speaking separately in Hewani Village, Tana River County, Area Senator Danson Mungatana said culprits of embezzling funds from SHA should face the law.
Kama mtu ameiba pesa na umeona mtu ameiba pesa, kwa nini hao watu wasikamatwe? Kwa nini wasikamatwe tusikie wamepelekwa mbele ya koti? Kwa nini hao watu wasikamatwe?
Similar sentiments in support of the ongoing reforms at SHA were made in Tharaka Nithi County by Laikipia East MP Mwangi Kionjuri, who rallied Kenyans to register with the Social Health Authority, saying the government was implementing the recommendations of Kenyans.
Mkumbuke tulikuwa tunalalamika mwaka mzima, president akasema sasa malipo ni miezi 4. Lakini pia mmesema iteremshwe iwe 1 month. Lakini kwanza tushukuru kuna 1.5 million ambayo watalipiwa hiyo ni sawa sawa. Hapa tupigie makofi kidogo hata kama hiyo nyingine sio mzuri.
Gishuki Washira, Legends Edition.
Thank you, Gishuki Washira. Let's look at matters education, where nearly all public primary and secondary schools have complied with the government's directive to submit fresh data on students' enrollment, which is conditional on accessing capitation. Basic Education Principal Secretary, that is Julius Bitok, however, said only 3,000 out of 32,000 schools whose data have been received at the ministry headquarters have received third-term capitation after their data was certified as genuine.
Speaking at Machako's Teachers Training College, where the verification process is underway, the PS assured schools that have submitted the correct data that they will receive their funds by next Friday.
We are anticipating that by next week, end of next week, all our schools, all our 2,000 schools will have received their capitation.
Schools are required to submit the unique personal identifier UPI, which is contained in the birth certificate of every learner, the school's registration number and certified bank account details through the respective sub-county education offices.
I want to call upon all the principals, all the sub-county directors of education who have not submitted data in the correct format to do so expeditiously, because it is that data that we are relying on to verify the number of students, the number of schools, and to ensure that the right schools and the right candidates get their capitation.
The ministry has extended the submission deadline to Friday, September 12th, 2025, to allow schools yet to comply to do so. The government is, however, facing a backlash from a section of elected leaders over alleged lavish spending, while schools suffer due to a lack of capitation.
Capitation is not coming, it's delayed. The children have opened school. And yet we can see a lot of squandering of money, resources, in things they are calling empowerment. If we are not empowering that child in the school, we don't need to empower grown-ups.
According to Naivasha MP Jen Kihara, the current financial crisis has led to food and learning material shortages, forcing schools to send students home. Meanwhile, some schools in the Wahoma Bay County say they are struggling to feed and retain learners.
We are in a community or a society which is a bit vulnerable. The rate of poverty is quite high. Then the rate of dropout of students is also high. So some of these things which are coming in as aid in terms of food will enhance the retention of the students in school.
To cushion the impact, 15,000 students from 39 schools have received food supplies from Child Welfare Society of Kenya under the State Department for Children Welfare Services.
And this will go a long way in ensuring that students in these schools remain in school and are better prepared for examination.
The emergency feeding program has also been rolled out in select constituencies of Kiharu, Mukurwaine, Kiamba, Kipipiri, Mogosho, Keio South and Nyando, serving as temporary safety net as the government verification exercise continues. Doreen Arange for Legends Edition.
Moving on, expansion of Kenya's meter gauge railway network is on course following the rehabilitation of the transformative Mombasa Island Maritini meter gauge railway line and the construction of the Mombasa MGR station. An estimated 4,000 people are expected to use it for their daily commute once it's launched.
The last-mile railway connection to facilitate the movement of persons and goods is becoming a reality. This is thanks to the completion of renovation works at the Mombasa Island Maritini Gauge Railway Line and the Mombasa Meter Gauge Railway Station. The official launch is expected in mid-September this year, and Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir says the government is keen on ensuring convenience in the movement of persons and goods.
We will be looking at moving up to 4,000 people per day. 4,000 people per day is quite a sizable number of people, and reducing the traffic off the roads.
The project also entailed the construction of a pedestrian bridge linking the SGR and MGR platforms, a locomotive turntable and a railway bridge with a length of 480 meters across the Makupa Causeway. Land acquisition and compensation issues had previously caused delays but have since been solved.
We had significant easement challenge because of land compensation, for which we have released up to 4 billion to ensure that we are able to finish some of those constructions.
The government hopes to complete similar railway networks and supporting facilities at Syokimau and other stations across the standard gauge railway line.
We'll also be looking at the last mile from Syokimau, Nairobi, to the Nairobi railway station. That way we can basically facilitate and give convenience and therefore accelerate the usage of the railway infrastructure.
The second phase of the project involves the rehabilitation of the Mombasa Central Railway Station and the construction of 4 mini stations in Changamwe East, Changamwe West, Miritini and Shimanzi. Yusuf reporting for the Legends Edition.
Thank you, Yusuf Farah. Now, the government is closing in on major suppliers, that is, of marijuana in a bid to dismantle the distribution networks in the country. Luanda area in Vihiga County has been identified as the most notorious grounds for peddling of cannabis. During the Jukwaa la Usalama security tour in Vihiga County, Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, said the use of drugs and illicit brews has been funneled by social cultural practices. He added that it was time for an all-society conversation to deal with the menace. Prevalence of gangs for hire by politicians was also identified as a security challenge in the wider Western Kenya region. Murkomen warned that there are no sacred cows and culprits would be dealt with firmly.
The most affected citizens with mental health, particularly in our mental health institutions, come from this county as a result of abuse of drugs. And therefore, we cannot just talk about enforcement. It must go beyond that. We must do societal sensitization, sitting with the churches, sitting with our county commissioners and our chiefs, assistant chiefs. We must find a lasting solution that is long-term. We must also look at the long-term impacts in so far as school dropouts, unemployment, and other challenges that are affecting society. In fact, the prevalence of some of the high crimes here are directly related to drug abuse and drug and alcohol abuse.
Still on matters drug abuse, drama unfolded in Kamango area of Kikuyu, Yambo County, after a group of women stormed the home of a suspected drug trafficker accused of perpetuating the substance abuse in the area. Now, the women threatened to take the law into their hands if no action is taken immediately to combat the menace, saying drug addiction has led to a rise in school dropouts and social instability among the local youth.
Kamangu in Kikuyu. These women said enough is enough as they stormed the home of this woman, whom they accuse of promoting drugs.
Kuna kijana mmoja alikuwa mwenda wazimu. Aliweza kuuziwa bangi. In the next like 30 minutes hivi, huyo kijana akaenda na akadunga watu kama 9 na kisu.
The women accused the suspect of distributing illicit brews and cannabis contributed to a surge of drug addiction among school-going children.
Anahusia hata watoto wadogo, anahusia fagi. Sasa tunataka atoke kijiji hii yetu aende. Hatusemi fagi itaisha kwa sababu kuna wengine wanauza, lakini sisi tunasema huyo aende.
They say the vice has led to another, the rise in school dropouts and social instability among local youth, needing an immediate action from the relevant authorities, failure to which they will deal with them. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
Well, in that story about Tilio Marco brings us to a fast break of the bulletin. I'll be back with much more.
During this 2024 Chan moment, every glass of milk tells a story of care, quality and goodness from the farm to your table. At the Kenya Dairy Board, we ensure that every drop you drink is fresh, safe, and wholesome from licensed dairy business operators you can trust. Milk is nature's pure gift, packed with calcium for strong bones, protein for growth, and vitamins to keep you healthy and active. Always look for dairy products permitted by the Kenya Dairy Board, KDB, your guarantee for safe and quality milk and dairy products. From our children to our adults, from breakfast to bedtime, the goodness of milk powers every moment. The Kenya Dairy Board, world-class dairy regulator committed to quality, safety, and national pride.
What happens when the wisdom of yesterday meets the dreams of today? When our elders share their journey and the youth bring their vision of tomorrow. This is Transgenerational Conversation, a powerful town hall where generations sit side by side to listen, to challenge, and to learn from each other.
I feel like the answers are with us.
If we listen to the issues and act upon them, I'm sure that the next time you're sitting on a transgenerational conversation, you guys will be discussing different things.
From timeless values to modern ideas, from lessons of the past to solutions for the future. Transgenerational conversation. Real voices, real issues, real change. Join the conversation this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. live from Kenya Methodist University, Nairobi Town Campus. Let's ignite dialogue and shape Kenya's tomorrow. Only on KBC Channel 1 in conjunction with NCIC, Korea International Cooperation Agency, and UNDP.
Habari yako? Mshuli mama.
Unafanya nini chini meza? Kumbe ni wewe. Nipatie pesa yangu.
Niko na followers wengi sana.
Ngapi?
37.
Watu pati imeanza. Umetumia mkono mbaya.
Yoyo. Nyamazeni nyinyi.
Mkaka alipata ajali sukukani.
Tulisikia pikipiki imepita tu. Vuk. Nyingine katupita. Vuk. Alafu tukasikia.
Anyway, kwani nijasikia?
Tuongezwa mshahara nini?
Mkaka alipata accident.
Nilijua.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, investigations are ongoing to establish the cause of the fire that destroyed property worth millions of shillings and left several people homeless on Thursday evening at Katani Villas in Katani, that is in Machakos County. The Katani Villas Community Chairman Elias Omonde says the affected families are now depending on neighbors and unoccupied houses for accommodation and to keep their salvaged belongings.
Families are still counting the cost of a destructive inferno that torched part of the Katani villas 2 days ago. Some of the residents are now housed by neighbors, while others have been forced to find shelter inside unfinished houses within the estate. The cause of the fire is still unclear.
The investigations are ongoing. We cannot really divulge much on how that particular process will go. But importantly is that we will liaise with the authorities and investigators to support us to really get the root cause of these incidents.
The residents are re-examining the estate's disaster preparedness to minimize the damage caused by tragedies such as this one.
We believe that fire hydrant systems are important, and we are basically discussing that extensively with the families and the residents in extension. Further than that, then we believe that we need to also, teach our residents how then they can, take care of themselves in such instances.
What is certain, however, is that it will take time and other resources to make these church structures homes again. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
Now, more than 39 Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education School Teachers from Nairobi County have protested a recent decision by the Teacher Service Commission to transfer them to Kitui County just a few months before their retirement. Speaking in Nairobi, the teachers who were recently promoted accused the TSC of ignoring the government's policy on delocalization. Flanked by KUPPET officials, the teachers say the transfers will disrupt their lives and families and are urging the TSC to reconsider the decision on humanitarian grounds.
We have a case of a special needs teacher who has been promoted to go and become a deputy head teacher in a regular school in Kitui. And already we have raised that complaint. We don't know how the Teacher Service Commission is going to handle that because she never even applied for that promotion. She applied for another one. I want to inform you that there are teachers who have lost their lives or have passed on as a result of such kind of forceful deployments.
I do not have further details.
A look at news making headlines across the country, and a family in the Juakali area of Embakasi in Nairobi County is appealing for help to settle a hospital bill left behind by the deceased kin. Elsewhere, former employees of Uchumi Supermarket staged protests in Nairobi County demanding payment of salary arrears. Details coming up in our County News Roundup.
James Njoroge was a Nairobi County staff who succumbed to stomach cancer at the Nairobi West Hospital and left a bill of 2.3 million shillings. Despite contributions from friends, insurance and support from the county, his family need to pay 900,000 shillings before the body can be released for burial.
Tunaomba tu wenye akona uwezo usaidie familia ejitokeze hata kama ni babu waino na sakaja.
Meanwhile, a family in Naivasha, Nakuru County has been forced to postpone their burial of their king after Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika failed to clear a hospital bill she allegedly promised to settle. Governor Kihika is said to have played the assistant during a tour of the city.
So sisi tunaomba kila mmoja wetu na viongozi wetu wa katika kaunti ya Nakuru na Naivasha hii na viongozi wote katika Kenya hii, tunaomba msaada ili tukaweza kusimama na hii jamii, tukaweza kusimama na huyu mke wake kwa sababu hana wazazi, ili tukaweza kumpumzisha.
Elsewhere, former employees of Uchumi Supermarket are now demanding payments of salary arrears amounting to over 600 million shillings.
What I would request is give the company time to be able to pay your debt. And we are working towards that. Each and every single, we did it on our own volition. I made that proposal. Lawrence, because I'm also owed money.
And Kenyans have been urged to pay more attention to the welfare of the boy child amid concern that current system mainly focused on the girl child.
We have to let the boy know that this is the time for them not to sleep, but to wake up to raise above the skies. They have lost hope, and we want to bring men to their senses. This is because they were told that when you go to school, you are going for a white-collar job. But when they finish the school, the story is different. So
finally, in Kisii County, an anti-gender-based violence initiative is adopting a new strategy to rally the community against the violence.
We looked at the factors that are contributing to high level of GBV, and then we looked at the cool downs or the ways to lessen the GBV, and we are working in a method called value-centered approach, in which we approach the people by involving them.
Case Kimirei, Legends Edition.
It's time for sports. Bernard?
Thank you so much, Marie. Indeed, it is time for the latest from the world of sports with me, Bernardo Kumu. And we begin, of course, with the ongoing World Cup, CAF World Cup qualifiers, where Morocco thrashed Niger 5-0 to become the first African team to qualify for next year's FIFA World Cup in a round 6 Group E match played last night at the Prince Moulay Abdellah Stadium in Rabat. Dismas Otuke has the details.
The Atlas Lions showed their intent from the onset, playing in front of the 68,500 fans who thronged the newly refurbished Prince Moulay Abdellah Stadium and taking control of the game with a 2-0 lead in the first stanza thanks to Ismail Sabiri's brace. Niger, who played with 10 men for almost 70 minutes after Abdul Latif Gome was shown matching orders for a second bookable offense, found it hard in the second half as Yacoub El Kabi extended Morocco's lead with the third goal following Youssef Belhamari's cross in the opening 5 minutes. Lille forward Hamza Gamane added the fourth in the 69th minute before providing an assist to Azzedine Ounahi in the dying minutes of the game to wrap up a 5-star performance for the home side. The victory gave Morocco an unassailable lead with a maximum of 18 points, booking their ticket for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be co-hosted by USA, Canada and Mexico for a record 6th time.
We have great players, and it was expected that we would be qualified easily, regarding the fact that we were like the fourth in the last World Cup.
I expect we will win the World Cup and the African Cup, inshallah. Hakimi is the greatest of all time in the Ligue 1. Today, inshallah, demain, Hakimi is Ballon d'Or. Udiva Maghreb!
We won, alhamdulillah, and we will be winning and hopefully we will have the African Cup.
We had today the match with Morocco and Niger, and we won with 5. We are so happy and so delighted to host the African Cup, and all the African countries are welcome in Morocco, and we are happy to have you here in Morocco. And also this new stadium is very, very, very great, and the conditions were great, the organization, everything is great. Thank you, Morocco. Thank you, everyone. Yay!
I feel great and I feel happy. And I feel happy that Morocco, we feel happy that Morocco is qualified.
Located about 9 kilometers from the central business district of Rabat City, the newly refurbished Prince Moulay Abdellah Stadium will play a critical role during the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations, staging the opening match on the 21st of December and the final match on the 18th of January next year. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Rabat City, Prince Moulay Abdellah Stadium, my name is Dismas Otuke.
And thank you so much, Dismas Otuke, with that report from Rabat, Morocco. And remember that, of course, the CAF qualifiers continue on Monday as well as on Sunday and Tuesday. Tuesday and Monday, a number of deciders of finals before the finals will be played to decide the one slot of the one who's going to represent Africa at the CAF World, that's at the FIFA World Cup next year in Canada, Mexico and USA. Moving on, KCB Rugby Football Club, Cabrasa FC, Menengai Oilers and Strathmore Leos booked their places in the Rugby Kabeberi Cup quarterfinals after registering wins on Saturday at the RFA grounds. Strathmore Leos maintained their fine run with a 31-0 win over Impala FC. Frederick Moki reports.
RFA grounds packed to capacity as fans stand up in numbers to witness the atmosphere as the Kabeberi Sevens kicked off. Strathmore Leos were on top form as they booked. Nigel Amaitsa opened the scoring from a loose ball before speed star Victor Moore lead. The Leos added that try in the left corner before second half scores from Mola and Samuel Wafula sealed the victory, putting them top of their pool with 6 points. In other results, holders KCB Rugby confirmed their quarterfinal slot with a 31-0 over Mombasa RFC. Cabras claimed a 43-0 points win over Embu RFC. Frederick Muki for Legends edition.
And to swimming now, where Nairobi Swimming Association stakeholders have urged the Kenya Aquatics Stabilization Committee to fast-track the setting up of a data to have national elections, which have been delayed for 2 years now. Now, Teddy Wamonyo, the Nairobi Swimming Association chair, who was speaking at Kyoto School during the association's annual general meeting, noted that swimming stakeholders across the country are growing increasingly frustrated by the prolonged uncertainty, which he said has hampered planning, talent development, and sponsorship opportunities. Now, Kenya Aquatics has been under the management of a stabilization committee appointed by World Aquatics following years of wrangles that paralyzed the federation's activities.
The ones in place are not recognized by the government. They are not. The Registrar of Sports does not have a file on them or any document, no certificate, no nothing. So they're supposed to be like a transitional committee. They're supposed to guide us into elections, but it's high time. This is the second year. We're going to the third year. Get the act together and give us a legitimate office that we can count on. But as far as government is concerned, they're bearing with the situation and they're making sure that the swimmers are not suffering.
If you come during the competitions, you can see how competitive it is. We pray that the coaches and swimmers and parents all put their 100% into it for us to get to move to the next. And, as you can see, the times have improved from because times keep on improving. We're squeezing the times and making them even faster.
Of course, with that story on the impending swimming elections, we take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more, so stay with us on Legends Editions of Sports.
It is always a good time on Bridge over Congo.
Catch us every Saturday from 10 p.m. till midnight.
Join me, the Rumba Supreme Leader and the Grand Ayatollah Simeon Mfumo Kimbango and
Winnie Marie Jose, Bridge over Congo.
Mungu esilakana nzungute kasielenge Mungu esilakana.
Chumvi huyeyuka chunguni, lakini ladha yake hubakia.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
And welcome back on to more of the sports news, where Patrick Lister and Eunice Kimario on top form as the inaugural Tennis Nillions Cup entered its second day at the Parklands Sports Club here in Nairobi. Lister defeated Arnold Rapenda by 2 straight sets of 6-2, 7-6 in the men's singles, while Eunice beat Sia Gupta 6-1, 6-2. Over 129 players are taking part in the championship, which is set to culminate Sunday with the finals, where winners for both men and women will receive 100,000 shillings in prize money. The championship was aimed at giving budding tennis players an opportunity to showcase their skills and also tap talent at the grassroots level.
Tournament is definitely higher than tournaments I've played. I would say more, like, players are like really good, but some players are also like beginners. So I feel like the competition range is like it's varied, but the level is very high here.
Our workforce is made up of young
young people, energetic young men. So it's one way of encouraging young people to just come together and maybe represent the community.
From the kids category, we have so many good tournaments, but going up the levels, we have very few tournaments because of lack of sponsorships. That's why we are happy to be associated with the Lions.
As Kenya's national youth baseball 5 team, the Falcons, is counting down days to their biggest international test yet. The World Youth Baseball 5 tournament set to take place from the 23rd through to the 25th of this month in Nayarit, Mexico. The youthful side is eager to impress on the global stage with a united goal of bringing honors to the country.
The squad is currently in the final stretch of preparation at the residential training camp where they have been based since August 9th. Under the guidance of head coach Joel Wangicho, the team has been undergoing rigorous training, fine-tuning strategy, building coordination, and working on their overall game plan.
The training is good. As you can see, we even have our junior colleagues helping us to train so that we can prepare and go and compete in the World Cup Championship.
I have a hope and I believe we can do it, so I see us continuing apart from the World Cup, so I believe in ourselves, so we can do it.
Coach Wangicho has placed strong emphasis on tactical execution and fluid team play, with players showing high levels of intensity and focus throughout the camp.
As they grow with the team, they'll be able to catch up and compete with the rest. Like right now, when you see the number we are training behind here, we have the team that is going to the World Cup, and we have the team that is also preparing to represent the country in the Youth Olympics that is coming up next year in Senegal. So we have these players going to the World Cup. Some of them may not be able to play next year because they'll be aging out, but already we have people preparing to take their places.
The youthful side is eager to impress on the global stage with a united goal to bring home top honors.
As the national under-16 women's basketball team will face continental giants Egypt tomorrow at the 2025 FIBA under-16 women's Afro Basket in Kigali, Rwanda. Now the debutants Kenya began their campaign in style, overcoming Morocco 55-49 in a dramatic opener. Morocco led 31-29 at halftime.
Sisi wote tunaenda chini.
Aleki, hata ijafika hapo.
Jabali yako wapi? Mama Jabali, nyamaza.
Alex has a lot to lose. At least now I know where you and Alex stand in this.
Kata kubali kwenda ama kata tugeuzia.
Mimi ndahakikisha nimempeleka mpaka airport.
Afadhali tungehepa.
What is wrong with this family?
Umwambe akae mbali sana na kina dad na historia yao. Asijaribu kukuja huku.
Unafikiri mkitoroka serikali ya Kenya mtatoroka mbinguni?
Nilishangaa sana kupata simu yako. Ulipokataa kuja station, nilijua unataka tuongee off record, si ndio?
Mkweli.
Welcome to the FIFA World Cup 26.
Kenya's stars on the football pitch continues to shine brighter. The dedication, the self-belief and enthusiasm across the board is visionary. Join us for the FIFA World Cup 2026 African qualifiers, Group F, from Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. Your true sports partner.
Ogam turns left, fires home. Kenya lead, building up to half-time.
Buy the new Be Lifetime bundle. Dial *544#.
Welcome back. Joy and excitement was evident on the faces of the Safaricom Chapa Dimba All-Star steamer that heads to Spain for a week-long international football camp and training. Now, the team of 25 outstanding players will be involved in a series of activities, including playing against Huesca's Youth Academy and train at the world-class facilities of the Beis Aragones do Football. Now, the players will also attend a high-energy Segunda Division match between SD Huesca and Malaga FC. Now, the All-Stars team will be captained by Stanley Waswa of Ndura Sports Academy and Manda Sunirawere of Highland Rolls Moi Girls.
Nikifika huko lazima pia nicheze tena badge. Juu saizi tunaenda huko hivyo as team Kenya.
Indeed, Chapa Dimba is a great way of nurturing talent. Elsewhere, with employment opportunities in Kenya becoming increasingly scarce, the Sinonin Athletics Development Center, based in Eldama Ravine, Baringo County, is training young athletes and helping them secure scholarships abroad. Now, the center aims to promote self-reliance through talent development and international exposure. According to the center CEO, Barnabas Kitilit, there is a growing demand from countries such as Japan and the United States, where institutions and companies offer scholarships and opportunities in commercial running. Now, to date, the camp has successfully sent more than 10 athletes overseas, many of whom have since transformed the lives of their families.
We think and dream of one day producing somebody like Kipchoge, who is a great legend in the world, and I'm sure nothing will stop us from doing that. So our main target are school children. In this camp now, the population we have, which is about 120, school going, those who have not finished school, are slightly above 80.
Kukimbia mimi nilipenda juu babangu alikuwa anakimbia. Sasa sikuwa nataka baba retire bila kupata mtu mwingine mwenye atakimbia pika yeye. Sasa ndio nikashikilia hivyo.
After na focus kulikuwa na scholarship. Nikaenda nikajaribu hii ya November. Nikakata time. Sasa nangoja kuendea visa anytime. Ende kukimbia na kusoma huko US.
Well, and on that note of the Sinonin Athletics Development Center doing great things in Baringo, that's how we end it on Legends Edition from the Sports Deck. Thank you so much for watching. Marie?
Yes, Bernard, I have a question though, before we close. So Harambee Stars, what's happening? Do we still qualify? Do we have a chance to still qualify?
No, I know that's most the question that many have been asking, especially after yesterday's loss to Gambia. Did you expect that we could lose to a country of 1.2 million people?
Well, I think we already had that, confidence
the
because, the momentum from Chan,
Yeah,
so this, I think, took us by surprise. Yes, exactly.
But in sports, you lose and win.
Yeah, you lose some, you win some.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Wanasema sikubali kushindwa.
Si mshindani.
Exactly. So thank you so much for your time and your company. That brings us to the end of the Legends Edition this evening. My name is Yambo, and on the sign language was Anne Wangeshe.
And of course, I'm Bernardo Kumu. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
In our next report, we head to France to meet a farmer who is perfectly happy. He only uses old-fashioned methods that most farmers these days do not have time for. He does not even have a tractor, but he believes in respecting the environment. He lives from the land and tries completely self-sufficient.
Meet Samuel Lewis, who has never attended school or taken up a job. He lives in Brittany, getting by with almost no money, but a will to care for the environment.
Basically, all we need is provided for us by the soil. And if we know how to farm it, we can live in a beautiful environment.